Together with me are my colleagues from the Inspiring Asia Committee, as well as the Majurity Trust. Thank you all for being here with us today on a Friday afternoon. In today's session, we will be covering the history and structure of Inspiring Asia competition, as well as the details of the Inspiring Singapore regional competition. Please note that we will be recording today's session for the benefit of those who aren't able to join us. So here's a breakdown of our session today. And to start off, let's watch a quick video to introduce Inspiring Asia.
During the challenging time, Mr. Lionel Lee, founder of Lee Foundation, presented a short film at Venn 2021 in Singapore, demonstrating how just 4 Singapore dollars could make a tremendous impact on a young girl's life, highlighting the power of small contributions to create hope and opportunity. From this idea, Inspiring Asia was born to bring impactful stories to the forefront. With the support of Asia Philanthropy Circle, Inspiring Asia grew rapidly. In 2022, 11 films from 20 organizations were screened in Kuala Lumpur. In 2023, 16 powerful stories from 28 charitable organizations were showcased in Singapore.
I've noticed that many with our foundations have accomplished many meaningful things. A good story, a positive action is always worth sharing and spreading.
In 2024, we received 70 films from 40 organizations across 8 countries and regions. Screenings were held in Singapore and Thailand. Now, in 2025, Inspiring Asia enters a new chapter. We have received over 860 submissions from more than 50 countries and regions, including over 250 AI films. 6 regional film festivals, such as Inspiring Vietnam, Inspiring Indonesia, Inspiring Thailand, Inspiring Singapore, China, and Mongolia, are amplifying local voices and connecting them to a broader Asian stage. The journey will then culminate in the grand final in Singapore, where these diverse voices converge to inspire the region together. This year, we launched the AI track with Minimax, celebrating AI-powered creativity. 2 prestigious awards, the Best Film Award and the Best Project Award, honor the outstanding contributions of filmmakers and charity organizations. The Inspiring Asia 2025 award ceremony brought together filmmakers and changemakers from across Asia to celebrate storytelling, innovation, and social impact, inspiring collective action for youth mental well-being. Inspiring Asia is made possible through the generous backing of our anchor partners, Rockefeller Brothers Fund, Enlight Foundation, Blue Hill, and Lee Foundation, and the steadfast partnership of Asia Philanthropy Circle and Asia Community Foundation, whose vision and commitment continue to guide and strengthen our vision. We are grateful to our regional partners whose dedication makes this expansion possible. What's Inspiring Asia? It's a platform that celebrates Asia's diverse cultures, innovative spirits, and commitment to positive change. Each year, we unite filmmakers, NGOs, foundations, donors, volunteers, and beneficiaries all together to raise awareness, inspire action, spark meaningful dialogue, and foster collaborative philanthropy for a better future. That's Inspiring Asia. Let's enjoy the journey.
So, as we have seen, Inspiring Asia has grown rapidly since its humble beginnings as a screening at the Asia Philanthropy Circle's annual gathering. Last year marked a significant milestone as we expanded Inspiring Asia to 6 different regions, with the help of regional partners and participants like yourselves, collectively achieving an incredible mark of nearly 1,000 submissions. Every year, the festival revolves around a different theme, galvanizing our community to submit stories and solutions to a specific social or environmental issue. So from left to right, our past themes include Asian spirit, Asian narrative, sustainability, and youth mental well-being. So what does 2026 call us to explore? Oops. Our theme for this year is community empowerment, with the tagline of belonging, resilience, and thriving. Community empowerment is defined as the process of building shared capacity, and tapping into collective strengths of our members to shape their future positively. We've adopted a broader definition of community, not bound by geography or kinship, so as to encompass a wider range of groups. As you can see from our poster, the grand finals of Inspiring Asia will be held in Manila, Philippines on 25th October. So you might be wondering, what is our competition process like? Our festival will take place in 2 stages. The first stage is the regional phase, which happens in your local community, which is Singapore in our case. This is where you submit your films and projects, take part in the judging process, and compete in the Inspiring Singapore finals. At the end of this phase, the top entries from each region are selected to move forward. These films and projects will advance to the main phase, where they will be reviewed alongside finalists from across Asia. And this phase will consist of the prelim round, the semi-finals held in Singapore, and ultimately the grand finals held in Manila. This year, we have 3 award categories at the grand finals. Firstly, the Best Microfilm Award, with a prize of 50,000, will recognize excellence in storytelling, cinematography, and thematic expression. It is awarded to the creative team to support their continued contribution to storytelling and social impact communication. Next, we have the Best Project Award, with a prize of 100,000 that honors outstanding social impact initiatives centered on the theme, with a proven solution and a potential for scale and sustainability. The prize money will be presented to the relevant non-profit organization or social enterprise to support the deepening and expansion of their work. And newly introduced last year, we have the Best AI Film Award, with a $10,000 prize that celebrates innovative and creative use of AI tools in filmmaking. These prizes reflect the seriousness of our mission. We're not just celebrating films and narratives, but investing in communities and the change makers behind them. Crucially, our AI track will be significantly expanded this year. In addition to the Best AI Film Award introduced at the Grand Finals last year, each region will feature a dedicated Best AI Film category for AI-generated or AI-assisted entries, complete with its own prize money. With the rapid rise and adoption of AI technology in creative industries, we're proud to be walking at the forefront of this technological change. AI is not only transforming how stories are created, but also expanding the possibilities for filmmakers across Asia. These developments and new awards could not have been possible without the help of various partners who support and amplify the impact of our festival. First up, our anchor partners. These are the strategic partners who support the long-term impact of Inspiring Asia through aligned vision, resources, and sustained commitment. They include Blue Hill, a local family office, Enlight Foundation, based in the US, Penghe, a Singapore-based Asian investment firm, Junsen, a global family office and charity headquartered in Hong Kong, the Lee Foundation, and the Rockefeller Brothers Fund, a well-established foundation in the US. We also have our platform partners, organizations whose credibility, brand, and networks we leverage to amplify Inspiring Asia's reach. The platforms serve as the infrastructure for the festival's key functions. For instance, APC's annual gathering was where Inspiring Asia was born, while ACF serves as an independent third-party organization which manages the Inspiring Asia Fund that pools and distributes anchor partners' contributions as regional award prizes. Crucially, the Inspiring Asia Grand Finals have always been held during or close to APC's annual gathering, meaning that your films and projects will be showcased in front of Asia's most established philanthropists and celebrated family foundations. And thirdly, we are excited to partner with Minimax, a global AI foundation model company that recently listed in the Hong Kong Stock Exchange for the Best AI Film Award. Minimax has developed one of the strongest multimodal AI models around the world and is uniquely positioned to support innovation in AI-driven filmmaking. And last but certainly not the least, we have our regional partners, who not only organize the competitions in each region, but serve as the connective tissue that allows Inspiring Asia to make its presence felt across the region. This year, we're proud to add 2 new regions, Hong Kong and the Philippines, while welcoming several new regional partners. Among them is the Majurity Trust, a social impact hub with strong community networks, who is our regional partner for Inspiring Singapore. Kelly, Shimei, and team, we are very pleased to have you all step up for this challenge, and over to you to introduce Inspiring Singapore.
Hello everyone, so I'm Kelly from the Majority Trust, and today I'll be taking you guys through the process and the criteria for the Singapore region. So to start us off, for this year's regional competition, there are actually 3 main categories. So your first category will be the microfilm category, second category is the project category, third is the AI category. So under the microfilm category, we have the Best Microfilm Award, Next Gen Award, Audience Choice, and the finalists for the microfilm category. Under the project category, we have the Best Project Award, followed by the finalists of the project category. For the AI category, will be the Best AI Film Award and the finalists for the AI category. So the cash prizes that you actually see on the screen are, for each category, are in US dollars. So who makes up the judging panel for the judging and selection process? So in the judging panel, we have professionals in film, media, social innovation, and subject matter experts. So we are actually currently shortlisting our judging panel for the Singapore leg. So just stay tuned to our socials for more updates. We'll share the socials at the end of the session. Upon the closure of submission, we will commence with the prelims round. So the organizing team will actually review the submissions to ensure that all of the following criteria are met. So the technical criteria, thematic criteria, and the eligibility criteria. So all submissions will also be verified for authenticity, copyright, and the correct categorization. Thereafter, we'll move on to the expert evaluation. So all judges on the regional judging panel will review the submissions based on a standardized evaluation rubrics. Each of the judges will score independently, and the scores are then aggregated to form a shortlist for the various categories. So for the final stage of judging, we'll split into 2. So first, the Best Microfilm and Best AI Award. For these 2 categories, the shortlisted films will actually be screened in front of the judging panel and a group of private audience. The audience members will then score the films, and their votes will actually be combined with the judges' score to determine the winners. For the best project, the shortlisted projects will be required to participate in a live presentation to present their initiatives to the judging panel. This will be done either online or offline, which we'll confirm closer to date. The judges for the project category will evaluate the projects accordingly to the official criteria, and winners are selected through expert evaluation. So once Inspiring Singapore 2026 concludes, the finalists from all 3 categories will advance to the prelim round of the Inspiring Asia main phase. So judging criteria, it varies slightly across all 3 categories. So for the Best Microfilm Award, it will be scored at 20% each for these criteria. So filmmaking excellence, storytelling, impact, team expression, and creativity. So as we mentioned earlier, under the microfilm category, we also have the Next Gen Award. So Next Gen Award actually applies to student or school submissions only, but the same scoring rubrics actually applies, same as the Best Microfilm Award. For audience choice, on top of the same scoring rubrics as Best Microfilm Award, a live audience vote will also take place. So it's quite straightforward, the film, the highest vote count wins. Moving on to the Best Project Award, it will be scored at 20% each for these criteria. So catalytic impact, your innovative approach, how you communicate the issue, sustainability, and the scalability of your initiative. Last but not least, the Best AI Award, it will be scored at 20% each for these criteria. Creativity and originality, technical execution, storytelling and narrative, cinematic excellence, and the social impact and relevance. That said, is it possible for one entry to actually win multiple awards? The answer is yes. So, for example, if a school or a student submit a film for the microfilm category and it does well, it scores well, they may win the Best Microfilm Award, Next Gen Award, and the Audience Choice Award. Okay, so moving on to the submission criteria. For all categories, across all categories, your must submit is, of course, your film. Okay, so the film submission requirements are to have it in MP4, MOV or AVI format, the aspect ratio to have it at 16:9 widescreen at 720p, 1080p or 4K. Duration of your film should be between 3 to 6 minutes. That is recommended. The file size to keep it between 100 MB to 5 gig. As for language, there is no restrictions, but for non-English films, you must include English subtitles. Additionally, you also need to submit your film posters. So one landscape, one portrait, and your film stills. We need a minimum of 3 high-res images. Moving on to the category-specific submission requirements, we'll start off with microfilm. So on top of your film that you must submit, you will also need to provide a list of your production team. So the name and roles of the key team members. So for example, who's the director, who's the producer, who's the DOP. And your film synopsis, which will cover the brief description of the story, creative vision, and messaging. This is optional, but good to have, but the background information. So these details includes like filming details, teaser trailer, technical highlights, and director statement, etc. Moving on to the project category, please note that to qualify for the projects category, your submission must, on top of having a film, your initiative needs to be an existing one that you have already implemented or is going to be implemented. Okay, so for example, if you actually start your initiative, like for example, 2 years ago, you still can submit provided this is an initiative that is ongoing. Okay, so under the project category, on top of your film, you also must provide your project summary, which includes the problem address, goals, approach, innovation, and impact. Your organization overview, which includes your mission, capacity, your proof of registration or governance, followed by your impact and growth plan, which are your outcomes to date, sustainability, scalability, and how you are intending to use the prize funding. This is again optional, but also like to provide supporting materials, which include statistics on impact, financial transparency, media coverage, or validation documents. Moving on to the AI category, please note that if you are submitting for the AI Film Award, the AI Film Award actually recognizes films that sees how you meaningfully integrate artificial intelligence into the creative or production process. So this is not just using AI to help you smoothen the process of the technical side of things. Okay. So on top of your film, you need to submit a list of your creative team. So like your names and their roles. The film synopsis, so your brief description of the story, creative vision, and messaging. What platforms did you use? So identification of the primary AI tools or platforms that you use for this project. And explain to us how AI was integrated into your process. To reiterate again that the AI Film Award actually recognizes films that meaningfully integrate AI into the creative or production process beyond minor technical assistance. So now I'll hand over back to Jerome to run you guys through the submission process.
So as you can see the submission process on the screen, first of all, you need to visit our official IA website, then navigate to our respective regional tab. There will be a submission button, and scrolling down further, you should be able to find a Google Form link, and that is where you can fill in the necessary information as well as upload the supplementary materials. So just to do a quick demo. Give us a moment. Okay, so you should be able to see the Inspiring Asia website. Let's start from the home page. Under the 2026 tab, you can scroll down to Singapore Regional sub page. And here's where you can find more information about the regional festival. Scroll down to the submission button here, click on it. And over here, under the submission guidelines, we will have a link that opens up a Google document, a Google form where you can fill in the necessary information. So to walk everyone through the Google form very quickly, first of all, fill in your information as a submitter. And the next page will request for information about the film. Give us a moment. The Best Microfilm Award, which everyone will submit to. And if you are a student film, of course, tick yes here so that you are eligible for the Next Gen Award. And the next page, if you are also submitting a project, you can fill this in. You will have to fill this in. Information about your organization, registration documents, governance, etc. And answer questions about the scalability and impact of your project. And of course, you need to fill in your film materials, the poster, stills, and the video file. And last but not least, there will be a declaration section where you agree to give the festival, us, a non-exclusive royalty-free license to use the film for non-commercial festival purposes, essentially to promote the social impact messages in your film. But of course, please rest assured that the copyright remains with you guys as the content creators.
So now we're going to share the timelines. We have already started the call for submissions, which I assume that most of you have already seen the post or the poster. That's why you're here for the info session today. So actually in May, the submission form and the portal will open. The date is currently to be confirmed, so please keep a lookout for the launch on our socials and website. We'll share the profiles at the end of the session. The submission deadline is the one that you guys need to take note. So submission deadline is actually on 6 July 2026 by 2359 hours. So what happens after that is we'll go into the judging and selection. So the Singapore Regional Judging and Selection will take place between 7 July and 7 of August. So for those taking part in project category especially, just take note that if you're shortlisted, you'll be contacted for a live presentation for your initiatives. So online or offline, we'll update you guys again. Thereafter, on 4th September 2026, selected finalists for the 3 categories will actually be invited to Inspiring Singapore Film Festival screening and award ceremony. After, finalists and winners from the Singapore region, your film's projects or AI film will actually be submitted to the Inspiring Asia's main phase alongside the other finalists from other regions. So in early September, the prelim round for the main phase will commence. On 26 September, the semi-final round for microfilm and AI category commence. For the project category, the actual date itself is still to be confirmed, but do take note again that if you're shortlisted for the main phase, you'll also be required to participate in a live presentation to present your initiatives to the judging panel. In October, finalists for the Inspiring Asia main phase will actually be invited to Inspiring Asia Grand Finals and Award Ceremony in Manila, Philippines, which will take place on 25th October 2026. Take note again for those who are submitting for the project category that if you advance to the grand finals, you'll be required to travel to Manila for a live presentation during the event itself. Okay, so finalists will actually be notified in early October to let you guys know whether you guys made it through to the grand finals or not. So thank you for bearing with us on this information overload. We will move on to the FAQ session. So any questions that you have, you can send it into the chat box.
I see there is a question already. The question is whether can a film participate in both the microfilm and AI film categories. So our response to that is no, because the AI film category is for films that are heavily AI assisted. For the microfilm category, you can use AI in like scripting the film and maybe slight parts of editing, but it should not form the bulk of your microfilm.
David, does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. So what do you mean? Okay, so if let's say for the microfilm category, there are certain shots or scenes being used as AI, but can I still categorize it as a microfilm category instead of an AI category?
Yes, if there are only scenes that are AI supported or used, you can still submit it to the microfilm category. But if you have any questions that you're not sure about, you can also write to the regional partners or the committee to find out more.
Okay. Yeah. Because now it's a very fine line between a fully AI generated film or AI assisted film and a film that is full-fledged production film. So not sure which category should we enter. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you in general we follow the principle that if most of the film was produced without AI or with very limited AI assistance, microfilm category. But if you are uncertain still, you can just send it to us and we'll take a look and advise on which category best suits your film.
Okay,
Yeah,
great. Thank you. Yeah.
Another question.
Yeah, our second question is from Ling Pei on whether a film that is already supported by a funder can be submitted. Yeah, our answer is yes. We actually welcome all films, even if it's been supported, even if it won a previous film competition, you are still welcome to support it. But do note that we have we like that the films be produced recently, so it should not be any earlier than January 2022.
Any other questions from the floor? If you guys are too shy to ask now, you can email us after the session. We'll give it another minute for questions. If no questions, then we will share our socials. So if in case of any questions that you have along the way, you can actually email us. And then for the timelines that we mentioned earlier, you can look out on our socials as well. Okay.
Okay, then if that is it, then thank you so much for coming for today's info session, and we hope it was helpful in helping you understand a little more about our festival. So we really hope to see your submissions and entries, and as always, if you have any questions, feel free to just pop it to the email or to our socials pasted up here. Yeah, thank you so much for your time, and we hope to see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.